our life, right? And so now he's so funny. He got an apartment, and he's like, I'm getting everything minimal. I have two plates, 2 cups, 2. And I was like, okay, Michael, well maybe we can, bring that like 4. I don't know, expand it a bit. But he really, he made it so. He shared with me how that loss was devastating, but it also taught him a new way to move forward. And I really love how through adversity we can find the positive, because hey, there's always going to be bad days, and there's always going to be things that are going to not go our way, but to not let that define you, actually let it be the impetus to carry on. So, thanks for the question.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. My name is Rafael. I come from Spain. Nice to meet you, Michelle.
Twinning.
I don't have a question. It's just an announcement. I am a part of an initiative called Letters for Legacy that we want to make.
Letters for Legacy.
Yes, we want to make Star Trek Legacy possible. So.
Me too. Yeah.
I would like to say that we have sign-up sheets like this one. If anyone wants to make it possible, you can sign this form, and we will give you a gift in a form of a little sticker. So, if you want to make Star Trek Legacy possible, we can meet each other at 19 hours at the elevators. And if you want to sign, we can meet her.
I love that. I want every single person here to be there at 1900 at the elevators. Okay? Sign that. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, I want legacy to happen so much. Me and Jerry. Yes.
Hello, my name is Hello. I just want to ask, just remember X Factor, and how was it your experience?
Yeah, it was so funny. There was I can't remember what con I went to.
I think you were haunted by some children or something.
Say again?
You were haunted by some children or something.
Yes. But it's so crazy because Jonathan Frakes was the narrator of that series. And so we didn't even find it until we went to a con, and then whoever was our moderator put up the scene that had Jonathan introducing me. I was just like, this is crazy, we've been connected. Yeah, I absolutely remember, because it was a Believe It or Not series where they would recreate stories that were sort of, whether you believe it or not kind of situation. And I remember I'm driving in the car, and something happens, and then I get to the place that I'm supposed to be, and there's children all around, and I don't know what's happening, and I remember being taken into the woods with the children, and the reality was that I actually died in a car crash, right? Yeah. No, it was fun. It was many, many years ago, and I love having a fun sort of adventure like that, and yeah, it was great. It was great.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Oh, and is there any else? That's right.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Anna. I come from Spain too, but I don't have an announcement. So the thing is, I know you had a blast recording with Jerry Ryan, and I know that she had some difficulties trying to be 7 of 9 because she's serious and she was laughing all the time. And my question is, in the scene with you two kiss, did you get that the first time, or did you break the character and had to repeat, or how was it?
That's a funny question. No, Jerry and I are like 2 peas in a pod. We work very similar. We're both really strong, independent women. And she's just, and I think I've said this at different panels, but one of the first days that we worked together, we were sitting in our cast chairs, and the PA came over and said, okay, it's time to come to set. And Jerry got up to go to set, and I might have had to tie my shoe or something, so I was still sitting, and I was tying my shoe, and I turned, and I saw that Jerry was standing there, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm just tying, you can go. And she goes, no, we're not gonna show up on set separate. We're gonna be together, because we're a team. not one of us is gonna wait for the other, and no one's gonna show up so that they can say the other person's late. And it was such a generous and very conscientious action, because I realized that she was giving both of us equal power, and I love that she was looking out for me. The kiss was actually something that we fought for, because I said, I remember when we were talking about that season, and we were getting closer to the end or whatever, and I said, there's been so much trials and tribulations, and everybody's going to follow that and support us, but we have to give them some beauty. You have to give that the love. And so, the writers are great, the producers are great. They're like, you're absolutely right. Let's, have this moment. And it was actually really beautiful, very gentle and romantic and respectful. And it was actually one take. And we we embraced and kissed, and it was a beautiful thing. She's a good kisser. What can I say? Yes, sir. Nope, that's it? Okay.
Hi, my name is Mike.
Hey,
I'm
Mike.
actually from the United States.
Have you escaped here? I understand.
Also, für die deutschen Leute, ich habe für die letzten 10 Jahre hier in Deutschland gewohnt. Deutschland ist it's home for me. Okay? Now, for people who don't speak German, I've lived here for 10 years, this is home. Now, my question for you, Michelle, is very simple. Anybody who's a fan of the NFL, players are often asked, what is their welcome to the NFL moment? Like, if it's a quarterback, it's getting sacked by somebody. If it's a running back, it's getting hit by a linebacker. I wanted to know, what was your welcome to Star Trek moment, where you realized that you were in this thing, and the fandom, all of us, we are in this thing with you.
Together, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's great. First of all, Jonathan Frakes had directed our first episodes, our first 2 episodes of season 1, and he told me, he said, Michelle, I know you've been doing stuff for decades, and you've been doing big and all this other kind of, big stuff, but Star Trek is unlike anything you will ever have done and will ever do. And I said, oh, really, why? He says, because when this show drops, you will have 10 million new family members across the world. You're like, nah, okay, that's kind of hyperbole, but that's okay, all right, well, I'll believe you. And our first, I think when we hadn't premiered yet, we went to San Diego Comic-Con in Studio H, which is the biggest studio. And Patrick is, of course, with us. My whole first season, Motley Crue were there. And we walked into Studio H, and the sound of the wonderful Trekkie family there was amazing. I mean, it was huge, the welcome we got. And I sort of stood there on stage with Alison Pill and Isa Briones and Evan Evigora and Santiago Cabreras and the entire cast. And we all kind of like looked around, Patrick's right here, and we're like, what is going on? And that's the reality that I went, oh, Star Trek, got it. And I have to say, you guys have proven that true for the last how many years it's been since I first started going to the cons because of Star Trek. Every time I go to a con, everyone is it's like we all get it. We all get it. We all want a good, an inclusive future. We all believe in the hope of a diverse community and, hi, rainbows, for goodness sake, and it's a beautiful thing to sort of walk into a room in a space like this, The best, guys are the best. There's nobody like Trekkers. There's nobody like you guys. Yeah.
Real quick, you are our family, and we love you.
Thank you so much. I love everybody.
I'm thank you for being here. My question is there a scene in Star Trek Picard that you really, really like?
Oh, that I really, really like. Oh, there's so many. I mean, first of all, my entire first season I loved because that was the first time I was introduced to Star Trek. And that group of people, that my motley crew was my first family. So I love that so much. I literally, I kid you not, you guys, every single day I'd come home and I was just like, you know, smiling, and I'd work like, I think there was at one point where I worked 5 nights in a row, which is, doing night shoots is not really fun. It's actually quite exhausting. But I just couldn't stop smiling because I'm on Star Trek, you know, and there's Patrick Stewart and I'm talking to him, you know, just loved it. And so I can't really, I mean, anytime Santiago, whenever there was a Rafi Rio scene, those were our absolute favorite because I just enjoy so much working with Santiago Cabrera. You know, it really is the whole thing. And my fight scene in season 3, awesome, so good. Kissing Jerry Ryan, oh my God. Worf, I mean, it's just, you know, there's really, I'd love to say one scene, but it's really been the entirety of the experience of being on Star Trek has been an amazing gift, you know, and it's a gift that keeps on giving.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Commander.
Hello.
I'm also from the States, but unlike some show-offs, I can't speak German. I'm saying... Brooklyn is home for me.
Hey, Brooklyn.
Germany isn't. I love it. But FedCon is family.
Yes,
so,
right.
And welcome to the family. 2 things. 1, thank you for showing that someone can have substance struggles and still be a total badass.
Thank you, yes.
Like we owe you.
Yeah.
And 2, it was season 1, and Alison Pill as Girardi is saying something. She's geeking out the same way we all would, and you just turned to her like, "Wait, who are you?"
Yes,
and literally, the friends I was watching with turned and said, "Whoever this is," like half of us knew who you were, and others were like, "She's pretty. Who is she?" But everyone was like, "We need her in Star Trek forever." So, thank you.
I remember that song. I remember saying that line. Like, who are you? Yeah, that was great.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for talking about the substance, because it's really important. Very important.
You participated in different big franchises, if it was Marvel or if it was Star Trek. Now, can you tell us a bit about the different approaches the studios take on casting you or picking roles or something?
Well, Marvel and Star Trek are very different. Let's see. Working on Marvel, I did Daredevil and Jessica Jones. And first, what's kind of crazy about working on a Marvel project is they're very secretive. Like, everything is really secretive. And, you know, to get your script, you have to sign a bunch of things, and you have to return the script. Even the days that we shot, they give us sides, which are the scenes that you're shooting. At the end of the day, they collect the sides, so it's very varied, right? There was one day that I was in the hair and makeup room of Daredevil, and I was hanging with Deborah Ann Wall. And we weren't in costume, we were just, you know, in our cities. And I took a picture. You know, I took a picture in the mirror of me and her and like the rest of the hair and makeup team. You know, just, you know, smiling, playing around. And I posted it. You know, just I was there, posted it. Went to my dressing room, and I think I said something like, "Oh, I love these ladies." Didn't say anything about any. There was nothing there. Literally 10 minutes later, I get a knock on my dressing room door, and they're like, "Hi, yeah, we're from Marvel. You need to take that down." Because they were like, and I was like, "Oh, it doesn't say anything." They're like, "Yes, but it's a spoiler." So it's very, you know, very much like that. And I have to say with Star Trek, you know, and I mean, maybe I'm just really lucky because my first sojourn was with Patrick Stewart. So I'm having, my first episode is with Patrick Stewart, directed by Jonathan Frakes. And what they showed me was the love and the playfulness and the joy that they all have when they're working on this beautiful project, this beautiful family. And I didn't really see that in Marvel, but you definitely see that in Star Trek. So that's definitely one of the most blatant sort of things. That's good.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you for being here. last time you were here, we talked about how effortlessly a show that on the surface seems kind of trashy, like Ash versus Evil Dead, portrayed a relationship of two people of different color. And I was wondering, Ash seems kind of awful to women on the surface, but do you think in a relationship, in a real relationship, how would this be? He's a character that seems rough, but when he comes through in the end, so what's your take
Bruce
on
Campbell, you're talking about Ash vs. Evil Dead?
Yeah.
Bruce and Linda B. You know, so that character is definitely kind of crazy, kind of, has a lot of stuff, but he's also, I think that he would be a very fun partner and a very loving partner because he does commit to the person he cares about, I think and he was great with me, with Linda B. We had a good relationship, and it makes you sort of think of like high school love, girlfriend, boyfriends that meet again later. They have that sort of history. So I think he'd be great. I think Ash would be an awesome partner.
Okay.
He knows how to, the chainsaw and shoot things. It's good. Oh my God, there's so 5 minutes left. All right. Yes. Thank you. Next question. Spotlight. 5 minutes. How did it get that fast? Okay. Hi. Can you talk a little bit closer to the mic? I know. Can you tip it down?
Rafi struggled with addiction. I actually quite appreciated that since addiction took my late husband.
So sorry.
Thank you. And I wanted to ask you how it was to play that part of Rafi.
Yeah, thank you for that, and I'm so sorry. And I too have lost quite a few people in addiction. Oh, what up? Yo! Hi!
Just heard your lovely voice.
I have to answer this question.
Yeah, no, I'm actually just going to say,
First of all,
I'm going to go, I'm not going to...
Oh my God, no, you stay here.
No, I need
Can
the
we
loo.
get an applause here?
No, I need the loo, I say that.
Buster, come on. See, can we make that happen?
Let me see, sign the petition.
Sign the petition. It's nice to see you.
Let's see,
Love it.
I'll leave it to it.
Let's do a TV show together.
Maybe.
How about Liquid Space, maybe?
I think maybe.
Let's do it. I like it.
Okay, I like it, thank you. Where are we going for dinner?
Thanks for wherever you want.
Okay, thank you so much. Bye.
But I too, it is incredibly important, and that was one of the main reasons that I really wanted to tell that story as truthfully as possible, because we have, people who have addictions are part of our world. It's part of our family. There's, eating disorders, there's gambling, there's sex addiction, there's alcohol, there's drugs, there's so many. And we all know somebody. And the thought that in the past we would dismiss people or, push them under the rug or shun them for an addiction is wrong. Because it's a devil on your shoulder and you're doing your best thing you can. You're trying every single day to just get up and face the day. And if we don't have grace and understanding and empathy and compassion for our fellow human, then it's on us that this world will crumble. We have to empathize and support them. And Rafi struggles, Rafi fails, but she picks herself up and she tries, and her heart is always in the right place. So I'm so sorry for your loss, but thank you for the question. And that's just remember compassion.
You mentioned at some point that you want to direct.
Put the mic just a little bit closer to you, sorry. Thanks. There you go.
So, okay. You mentioned that you want to direct at some point. So what do you expect of this experience? How will this influence your way of acting?
Oh, to direct?
Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've actually gotten the opportunity to direct on stage before a couple of theater productions. The thing about directing, I think actors, like why Jonathan Frakes is such a good director. Acting directors know how to talk to an actor, know how to get create the truth of the scene, and doesn't step on the toes of another actor. So I think it would feed me, because then I'd understand what's happening on the other side. A lot of times when you're being directed, a director will say something that sounds a little ambiguous or something that you don't think you want to do, but you don't realize that they're looking at it from a big picture. You know, an actor's thinking about my world, my, me, and this whole thing. A director's thinking about the whole picture, which I love. And I'm obsessed with cinematography. I'm obsessed with different cameras, different camera angles, the whole thing. I really want to experience that, and I think it'll feed me. So thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm so sorry. They said it's the end. I wish I could get to you. I'm sorry. But there's only... No. Okay. It's such a great... It's always wonderful being here with you guys. My heart swells each time I'm in, at a con, but there's something really specific and really unique about FedCon here in Germany. I'm so grateful for this community. Thank you so much for welcoming me in as one of your family members. Thank you so much.